It sucks, it charges, and it'll even pump your car tire up if you have a flat. We're talking about the VTOMAN V150. Okay, we're not real sure on how to pronounce the name, but you see the spelling. We're going to call it VTOMAN. And this is the V150, and it comes as a kit with a battery pack that's supposed to put out 2,500 amps and an air compressor head, as well as the jump starter cables, and that comes in one single kit. And then you can expand that kit into a vacuum as well as other tools. Now let's take a closer look and see the specifications of each of these. And then of course we're going to use it because we got a great test subject, a couple of great test subjects. Then we'll come back and talk about pricing. These are the VTOMAN or VTOMAN or TOMAN, however you pronounce this name. I'm not quite sure, but it's VTOMAN, tools and batteries. It's a pretty cool system. At first when we got this, we weren't sure what we thought about it, but it's actually a pretty cool system, and let us show you what we're talking about. So right here is kind of the heart of the system, if you will, and this is the jump starter. This is the V150 jump starter with air compressor. Very tight case there, so nice packaging. There's a manual, and there's what looks like, I don't know, something you could shoot with. And a bag, and okay, there's our jumper cables, air hose, and different air attachments, and it looks like USB cable. And the heart of the system, the battery. So in the main V150 jump starter kit, you get the jump starter battery cables, but you also get this head here, which is also an air compressor, a high pressure air compressor up to 150 foot-pounds. And this is the battery here. So the battery will just slide in there like that, and then you can pull the trigger and operate the air compressor. And we'll go over all the details here in a moment. And then if you pull this off, this is where, this port right here is where your jumper cables will actually plug into. And they claim that this will start up to an 8.5 liter gas engine or 6 liter diesel engine, and we've got something to test the upper end of that scale. Now, in addition to the tools that you see here, the air compressor and the battery or booster box, if you will, jump starter, they also have things like this here. So this is a little car vacuum. So you can see we can vacuum up with just the port right here, and the battery slides in right here. And now you've got a little vacuum, but they even have extensions to where you can add to it and actually hook to a floor vac as well, or just add some crevice tools, or you have the brush attachment that's built right into the tool right there, or we'll pull off and actually go on the extensions also. So kind of cool little tool that's also expandable. And not only that, you can even expand it to like an impact wrench that uses this battery. So pretty cool system where you can continue to add to it but utilize the same battery for all of it. So let's get a closer look at the heart of this. This is the battery pack. I believe it's a 56 or 59 watt hour, 2,500 amp output max. Not quite sure how they get 2,500 amps out of this, but that's their claim. And they claim, as I mentioned, up to an 8.5 liter gas engine started or 6 liter diesel engine started. We have a full battery here. As you can see, if we just push that button, then it shows our indicator there. And it's very easy to charge this because all you do is take the USB Type-C cable and you plug it right here in the end of the battery and charge that up. You can also charge a cell phone from that same port there. So that's in or out. We can charge with that. We can also charge output or charge our smart devices from that as well. Now, to use the jump starter, we're just going to plug that in the end, plug this into our battery, and then we'll look for this little light to show green, telling us it's ready. If it's not showing green, then we push the boost button until it turns green. And we'll show that here when we connect it to the truck in just a few moments. So we have a 1990s 454 truck that's got a dead battery, and we're going to try that out on it here in just one moment. And we'll see how well it succeeds. Now this is the air compressor. So easily just slide that battery on. Yes, it's kind of long, but who cares if it gets us out of a jam, right? And then we see we have an LED display right there. So simple on-off switch. If we want to use it manually, just hit the button once. It's going to fire up the compressor. Hit the button again. It will shut it off. This goes up to 150 PSI. Easily take the hose here, screw it into the front till it seats and seals. And then we open this up, attach it to the tire valve or to the Schrader valve, and then close that down to lock it. And then we have a needle for pumping up balls, and then one for pumping up rafts. And it looks like a Schrader to Presta valve for any of you bikers out there. That's included in the kit as well. And we'll bring a tire over here in a moment and see if it doesn't pump that up completely. All right, we have a full-size SUV truck tire and wheel here, and let's just ensure that our PSI is down or our pressure is down. All right, let's check this. Yeah, we're at 25, a little more. Okay, we're right at 20 pounds or 20 PSI on this tire. Now it's typically, 37 to 40, and so let's take it back to that. Okay, we're down to 20 pounds, and let's see. Yeah, we've got a full battery, and we'll connect, push it on, close this down, seal it, and you see we're at 20 pounds. We started. Now we're at 21 PSI, but anyway, let me put a stopwatch here and let's get a reading while we're doing this. See how long it takes to pump up this tire. Let's go ahead and hit the button. So it stopped at 39 PSI, and it took a little over 3 minutes, almost 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Now there for a second, it shut off. I accidentally hit the button. I was just making sure it wasn't leaking here, make sure it wasn't, had an air leak, because I really couldn't hear with the compressor going. But it was sealed fine. But again, so that split second, I did turn it off and back on. But not too shabby. Yes, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. That's a lot slower than your air compressor, your main air compressor can do, but that's not what this is for. This is that roadside emergency, and this would absolutely work well for getting you back on the road. And really and truly, you probably could have stopped at 30 foot-pounds, and that would have been safe enough to get you back on the road and get that repaired. But it can take you to up to 150 PSI. That's just going to take longer and longer as that goes. Now, the cool thing is we've still got a full battery, even after running that for 3.5 minutes running the compressor. Now, I will say the compressor is pretty warm, and that's going to happen. Your hose is going to get warm. That's going to be any high-pressure compressor. It's using a lot of repetitions of a little bitty piston to actually deliver all that air. So now let's take this and put this on a battery, on a dead truck battery, and see how it does. As I mentioned, this is a big block 454 Chevrolet from the 90s. You'll see right there it says 7.4 liter. And that would be a 454 big block that's got a dead battery. Now, just to show you how dead this battery is, we'll go in here and you hear, it's nothing. Barely a click. Got some groaning from, I don't know if it's a blower motor. Yeah. Groaning from a blower motor over there. So yeah, it's not even wanting to run the blower motor. That's how dead this battery is. Okay, we're in direct sunlight here, so I don't know how well we'll be able to see these LED lights, but hopefully they will work. We'll attach our ground, and then we'll attach our positive, and wait for the solid green LED. And then once we get the bright green LED, then we know we've got 30 seconds to start it. Okay, booster is attached. Let's see now. All right, success on the first try. Let's give it a little gas. So we'll try out the vacuum really quick. You hold the power button down to turn it on, and that turns it on low. Push the power button again, goes into high. Not too shabby. That's really not bad at all. And then you can see right here this button, open this up and be able to dump out your trash. Clean out your filter. Oh, that's cool. So we just can close that, turn that, and now we have access to the filter. So just twist it, pull it out. Now you can clean that up, dump all your debris out, and get back to vacuuming. And then for quick cleanup in the car. Listen, testing on that battery on that 454 was no joke. In fact, that truck's been sitting for months, and we knew the battery has been dead for months as well. So we haven't touched it. That was literally putting the jumpers on it, turning the key over, and you see it turned over for a few seconds before firing up. Then it fired up, died again, and then it cranked right back up. And that was utilizing the same battery that we had just pumped the tire up with. So that was the same one that had ran for 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We did not charge it any further. We literally took it, went right over, put the booster cables on it, and probably within 15 minutes, again without charging, used that same battery pack to start that motor. And you see it started it up a couple of times with no problem at all. And then we even took the cables off after it ran several minutes and showed that trying to start it again, the battery was already stone dead after the cables were taken off of it. So a purely dead battery on that 454, and it had no problems cranking that up. Now, as far as the compressor, it's going to work great in a pinch. It's not going to be fast. It'll be great for like balls and bicycle tires, things like that. But you just have to take into consideration volume when you're looking at car tires, truck tires, SUV tires, because yes, will it handle the PSI? No problem at all. But when it comes to volume, you have to think about how many times that little piston in there has to go in and out to be able to create that much volume in that tire. So it will take some time. It's not going to be like your 5-gallon compressor you have in your shop, or your 10-gallon or 10 horsepower compressor you may have in your shop. As well as the vacuum. Listen, the vacuum I think is a kind of a me too, or a nice addendum. I will say that it sucked better than, or worked better than what we thought. Did a really good job of picking stuff up, but it's not going to be like your shop vac if you're trying to vacuum out your car. But hey, listen, it'll be great for sucking up that stuff that you've been looking at under your feet for months. Hey, listen, pricing on this, $89 for the air compressor and the jump starter or booster. And then I think the vacuum is like $29. We'll have a link in the descriptions. These are on Amazon, so you can find them on Amazon. Again, we'll have a link to each of these, so be sure to check them out. Not a bad deal, I don't think, at $89 and at $29. Hey, if you don't mind, would you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok? And then hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, did you hate our video? well, then give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.